Hey folks, am I live? I am, but I don't have anything ready. Holy crap, man. It's midnight. It's after midnight. I'm not even plugged in. Let me text some of my people. There we go. So there's my mic. And what else? My glasses. I'll give folks a minute to find the live, although like I said, I do need to text my people. So yeah, I wanted to come on. Oh, Annabees, finally. I am so sorry to keep you waiting, my dear. Holy crap. It's been one of those days, and here we are. The day is over, right? We're already on to the next day. How are you, hon? How are you? So the good news is that I have my cursor, I have my cell phone. I'm kind of worried about my laptop not being plugged in, the power cord. Like everything else is plugged in. But where's the power cord? One sec. See, I've been rearranging. This is why I always say, don't touch anything. What did I just do? I totally knocked the thing. I'm just lucky that nobody died, especially you and me. I should just stop. As long as it doesn't tell me that we're in trouble with the power cord, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. So, yeah, I spent the day rearranging both studios. And you know how that is. It's insane. It's completely insane. Because, like, every little thing I want to be perfect. Because I'm, the artiste. But now, like, this cord is bothering me. And I should just let it go, right? But no, I'm not going to. I'm going to touch stuff. I'm going to break all the rules and touch stuff and regret it. There we go. Let's see. This is just going to be one of those videos. Thank you for your patience, my dear. So what in the world is this little area that's like all glowy? I'm just going to have to get those out of there. Is that better? I want my skyline thing back. I had it out of the picture, and I did not like having it out of the picture. But I think that this is annoying AF. I just shouldn't even bother with any of this stuff sometimes, I think, right? But I love it. It's like my little fantasy land. But I just want to focus on the things I want to talk about. And I want to read your comments. So, okay, enough of that. But this is bothering me too. So let's just take that out. There. Okay. Misadi, Granny Annie, how are you, my dear? I had just started a video about the cruise ship. Oh no, thank you for alerting me to that. The cruise ship with the hantavirus. So scary. I don't know if I should talk about the rat screwing or not. This whole administration is just harebrained. It's so out of control. And that's what we need to talk about or not talk about. Hey, Granny Annie, it looks great. Okay. Did you text Trisha? No. Thank you for reminding me, because yeah, she was really upset the other day when she got missed. Well, especially because we'd been texting all day. So here, I'm letting her know. And she's on or at least we'd been texting like right before the video. And so that's why I thought I had texted her, because I saw her name there, but I didn't see. And yeah, some of these people are just, it's too late for most of the Ohio people, right? Let me see. And the New York people and the Florida people. Okay. I think I'm just texting like half of my people today. Okay, there we go. Thank you for that reminder, my dear. They are changing the name of Epic Fury to shoot, I forget the new name. That's exactly what they should call it. Yeah, because Epic Fury is over. They started something new. This administration is so stupid. It's just stupid. And I'm so done. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of people talking about it. We shouldn't be talking about it. It should be over. And my hair's all screwed up. Everything's screwed up. I just wanted to finish the thing that we started last night. What is the new war called?
Okay,
I want
to have a really serious conversation, and
I need to show you guys this.
When it comes to witch talk,
I need to show you this.
Saying in this video. And yes, he really posted this.
This is crazy.
On his Truth Social, and apparently took it down right away. But this is fucking scary. First of all, help. Second of all, this is how we end up with tinfoil hats permanently on our motherfucking heads. That was absolutely some kind of incantation. I need someone to translate for us. Is it another language? I mean, help. I tried to Google the phonetics, and there was like an African god that was kind of close, Ashaka.
I'm going to play that for you again.
I don't know if that's really what it's saying.
It's so crazy.
What the fuck? Y'all, do you remember when...
Okay, you ready?
We need to have a really... Okay, we need to have a really serious conversation, and I need all hands on deck when it comes to witch talk. What is he saying in this video? And yes, he really posted this the other night on his Truth Social, and apparently took it down right away, but this is fucking scary. First of all, help. Second of all, this is how we end up with tinfoil hats.
I want to play it for you one more time. Are you guys spooked?
That was absolutely some kind of incantation. I need some...
I'm spooked.
Second of all...
I'm super spooked.
And yes, he really...
I'm going to play it for you one more time.
Okay, we need to have a really serious conversation, and I need all hands on deck when it comes to witch talk. What is he saying in this video? And yes, he really posted this the other night on his Truth Social, and apparently took it down right away, but this is fucking scary. First of all, help. Second of all, this is how we end.
Okay, I'm going to set down my phone and read your comments. Sorry to start out like that, but this is... you know, next level. They probably released the Haunter virus to the cruise ship. Do you think? It sounds to me like he says a shark got shot. Oh no. Yeah. It's like Ashanta. I think he's saying Ashanta. It does sound a lot like a shark, but it's pretty unbelievable, huh? And I didn't really want to show that because I don't know what it means, but I think it's important. The mother effer posted that on his Truth Social and then took it down immediately. So I'm thinking that it's some type of flag, dog whistle. He's letting people know we're at this next level. It kind of reminds me of the Marlon Brando character in Apocalypse Now, but it's like he's speaking in tongues. It's very Titanic with an S instead of a T, right? It's strange. Yeah. So it's from Facebook. So I don't think I can link it up in the description. Do you want me to play it again, Anna Bees? I won't unless you want me to. And I might have scared Granny Annie off. I'm sorry if I did, Granny Annie. Oh, I'll take that as a no. Too funny. Unless that was not a typo and that was just an O. Pretty much, yeah. Okay. So everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something. All my videos are made for the tube of you, and it's an infotainment platform. Please make sure you're still subscribed. If you are subscribed, if you're not, please consider subbing up. Share a video of mine with somebody that you think would like the channel. Turn on your notification bell to ring. And where's the like button? Hit that like button if you'd be so kind. Your phone's getting crazy. Is it because of me? Or is your phone nuts anyway? Seriously. I noticed a few lives that I was watching today. One was Boston Brian. One was Waj Ali with Jen from I've Had It. And one was Reese Waters. And they got a lot of technical difficulties at real crucial points. So I don't know if that's what's going on, Anna Bees. No, it's always doing dumb stuff. Okay. Yeah. Does it just need to be rebooted? I mean, my phone is needing to go into the shop, but also sometimes, of course, it helps just to shut it down and restart it. And man, the wax on my teeth is like way too thick. You know what? Rather than smooth it out, I'm going to just take some of it off. Yeah, it's loaded down. Okay, that's better. That was really crazy. You know, because it's wax, it's always moving. So I might have it perfect for a while. And then when I start talking again, it's all moved. Okay, so I need to quit looking at my set and wanting the lighting to be different. I mean, I'm worried about the lighting on me too, because I'm just like looking all spooky, right? Like Spooky Molder. Let me see if I can do anything to help the situation. Does that help? Does that help? Okay, there's enough light on this side, maybe not enough on that side. Okay. I give up. Let's see. What if I knock some stuff down? What if I put this over here with that? And a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I know. How about like that? That should do something. Okay, I think that's better, right? I won't worry about it now. Another 5 months, right? I'm almost done. Oh, with the thing that I was reading last night. Is that what you mean, Anna Bees? I almost didn't come on tonight because, you know, this is what's going on. Everything's just all nutty. But I wanted to finish up with the thing. And I don't want to play that again. So I'm going to turn that off.
Okay, we need to
stop. And no with the ads. Not doing that.
really serious conversation, and I need all hands on deck when it comes to wish.
This is what happens when it goes, you know, somebody sent me that. It's a link from Facebook. And Facebook just like replays and replays and replays. And man, my hair looks terrible. Okay. What if I do this? If I sit like that? The transcript of Nora O'Donnell and Trump. Here we go. CBS News. I'm just going to finish this up. See if we can remember where we were at. It was shortly after the crazy part. And that let's see. We were a night celebrating the First Amendment and the freedom of press. That's right. Exactly. And then this was a record setter. I mean, this was very big, you know. That dinner had some problems for the last 9 years, and I didn't help them. And this time I went and I felt really good being there. There was a great camaraderie. I'm rereading some of it. Can I ask you, Mr. President? His speed was rather incredible. Actually, he was like a blur. I wasn't worried. I understand life. That's one of the weirdest parts to me. Let's see. And then she completely pisses him off. The so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read. We don't want to just gloss over that. I was waiting for you to read it because I knew that you would, because you're horrible people. Horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody. Oh, do you think he was referring to you? I'm not a pedophile. Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all that stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto. He's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that, because I'm not any of those things. How'd you like my drama, my melodramaculousness? Okay. Oh, my braces. You're almost done. Yeah, with the braces. I know, like another 5 months, right? I had no idea what you were talking about. Yeah, like 5, maybe 4. I can't believe it. I'm going to take some wax off the top too. Okay. Yeah, I think they're going to be off in August. And I actually had them put on in August. And they said 18 months. But then, wow, that's only 3 months away. No, I think it'll probably be September. I think it'll be 4 months from now. Hopefully. I mean, it would be nice if it was 3. Okay, I think that's good. I got like half of the wax off. Wax on, wax off. Okay, your hair looks really good. I was just thinking that before you said it looked terrible. Oh, you were too sweet, Annabise. I'm going to highlight that because I need to hear it. Us girls and our hair. I always say the only difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut is a couple of weeks. But yeah, I just had it trimmed, so it's not as bad as it would be if I hadn't just had it trimmed. But, you know, I wear it short sometimes, and then I grow it out sometimes. My hairdresser keeps wanting me to grow it out. I kind of like it short because I have such thin hair. It gives it more body when it's shorter. Totally off topic, but I really like those 90s cuts, like the wedge, where it just like gives you all kinds of volume. And I don't like trends, so I like to do that even when it's not the 90s. But as you get older, people expect you to have shorter hair. So I want to mix it up and have longer hair as I get older. Oh, Sarah, hello. How are you? Thanks for coming in. I'm just a little wonky tonight. I've spent all day cleaning and reorganizing my yoga studio, which is that way on the other side of the wall, and my YouTube live stream studio. And the reason that I'm doing it is a lot of reasons, but I'm trying to turn my yoga studio into my jewelry making area too. So it's a lot of work to try to like resynthesize and reassess, and I'm trying to simplify because jewelry there's just so much to it. I've got so much findings and beads and equipment and shelves and containers and lights, and I don't want things to get complicated. I want to simplify. So I'm trying to be very mindful, and I'm trying to purge and get rid of everything that I need, that I don't need. I told you guys before, I'm donating a lot of great art supplies to a art recycle place. So there's one in Columbus, there's one in Cincinnati, and then there's another one that opened up in the Dayton area recently. And they have really great names. What's the Columbus one? Something Raccoon. And then the one in Cincinnati is Indigo Hippopotamus, I think. Yeah. And then what's the Dayton area one? Sister Trillium. So it's this new thing where you can go and buy art supplies pretty inexpensively, but you can also donate all of your art supplies that you're not needing. And it's really cool. I knew it would be a cool thing, but it's even cooler than what I thought. And for any kind of art, like, I mean, if you're into scrapbooking or knitting, crocheting, sewing, flower arrangement, anything at all. He is so over the top. I know. I'm glad that I read that all crazy dramatical because I think it needs to be like that. Oh, you look fantastic. Oh, Sarah, so do you. No. I wish I could see you guys, but that's okay. I know a lot of people don't like to come on live. They just do the little like icon because it's such a pain in the butt to make sure that you don't have like spinach in your teeth and all of that. No, don't do the wedge. That's the Karen cut. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I remember back in like 2009 when there was like a mom's, I forget. Oh no, it wasn't the mom's. It was Kate plus 8. And she had the short hair that like stood straight up, right? The Kate plus 8. I never really watched that show, but the haircut was hilarious. And I knew somebody who had it. She looked really good with it, but I would never do that. Okay, let's get back to this. Try to focus. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. You're disgraceful. The other thing in the manifesto that I think is worth looking at in terms of determining his motive is he had been staying at the hotel since Friday. He checked in, he said he had cased the place and wrote, "What the hell is the Secret Service doing?" And he wrote this quote: I expected security cameras at every bend, bugged hotel rooms, armed agents every 10 feet, metal detectors out the wazoo. What I got is nothing. He wrote, like, this level of incompetence is insane. Sir, you already have 2 attempted. Well, he was pretty incompetent too, because he got caught, and he got caught pretty easily. So I'd say he was pretty incompetent too. You know, I can take any event having to do with security or anything else, and I can always find fault no matter what. I'm not going to keep going into that tirade because he's crazy. But where did we leave off? We're getting close. It was Charlottesville, wasn't it? I think that's where we left off. Charlottesville is in South Carolina or North Carolina? Do you guys know? I don't really want to look it up right now because I want to just keep going. But if you guys want to look it up and put it in the chat, if you don't know off the top of your head, that Charlottesville, that was insane. That was so sad. And, you know, the only reason I can remember Heather Hayes' name, if that is her name, I think it is because I know somebody who knew her. So I didn't know anybody that knew her as far as I know, but a friend of mine had a friend who was friends with her. And so it really hit him hard because he was friends with somebody who lost a really good friend. And it took it to a new level for me to know somebody who knew her. But I always get confused about Charlottesville, if it's in North Carolina or South Carolina. Because isn't there Charlottesville, Virginia, too? Now I'm real curious. Charlottesville, Virginia. Okay, thank you, Sarah Dell. Awesome. Yeah. And I can't remember if there's Charlotte. I think Charlotte is in South Carolina or North Carolina. And I always call it Charlotte instead of Charlottesville. Okay, quit being confused and let's just read. Yeah, this is right where I left off. President Trump. It's a total scam run by the Democrats. It shows you that, like Charlottesville was all funded by Southern law. That was a Southern law deal too. And it was done to make me look bad. I'm pretty sure he doesn't need any help with that. I think he's got that taken care of. And it turned out to be a total fake. It was a rigged election. That had nothing to do with the election, did it? Did it? This was a part of the rigging of the election, and that's what you really should be doing. I mean, I hope one of your 60 Minutes episodes, which really hasn't changed very much for the last few years, I'm surprised, but one of those episodes should be on Southern law and the fact that they spent millions and millions of dollars on absolute far right and just bad groups. And then they'd use those groups and they'd say, these are Republican groups and we're coming to your rescue. And they're the ones that have funded it, and they're the ones that kept them going. Pretty sad. Do you think it's pretty sad, Nora? Nora, the allegations in the indictment, Trump, they're not just allegations. These are, Nora, it was an indictment. Trump, these are facts, okay? These are facts. I mean, they have checks to the Ku Klux Klan and many others. And then they're saying how bad they are and blaming the Republican Party and the Republicans. These are not just allegations, but go ahead. Well, as you know, sir, you've been accused of things and we're able to go to a court of law and adjudicate them. So, yeah, I wonder what he was going to say. After 5 years. It's takes you about 5 years. Do you want to talk about that? Well, I've also won a lot of money from fake news media where they write falsely about me, and not that I want to sue people, because I don't, but I bring lawsuits against the fake news. I brought lawsuits against your network, and you paid me $38 million because you did something that was so horrible with Kamala. You put an answer down that wasn't responsive to the question because her answer, her real answer, was so bad. It was election threatening. And you paid me a lot of money. And you tried to pull one off. It was terrible. It was a terrible thing that you did. And when you say, can we all get along? You can. But when people do things like that, where, how about the BBC? When the BBC has me actually AI, they had me saying a horrible statement. And I said, I never said that. It turned out they gave me an AI, a little AI treatment where they had my lips speaking words of hate, tremendous hate, that I never said. They don't know what to do. They've admitted they're wrong. They just don't know what to do. They actually had me making a major statement, and it wasn't me. It was my face. It was my lips. My lips were perfectly in sync with the words. I said, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So I hear you, Mr. President. So when they say, can you get along? I can get along with anybody. But people are going to cheat, and if people are going to be fake, you sort of don't want to get along. There's a note. I want to read this note. I didn't read it before, so I don't even know what it says, but let me see what you guys are saying too. Yes, that was too much too. Did you see that anti-surveillance guy carrying a TV? I couldn't do it. No, I didn't. Charlottesville, Virginia, like a would-be assassination would say all that about security. They were supposed to be wanting to take somebody out, right? I know that whole manifesto is like, I think Kash Patel wrote it. Just like I think he's the one who wrote anti-ice on the bullet casings with the black Sharpie. That really happened at one of the ICE detention centers. Some shots were fired, and then they found the shell casings, and someone had taken a Sharpie and wrote anti-ice on the shell casings. Yeah. Okay. I think the security should be better. Oh my God, the security was a joke, an absolute joke. It was really sad. But the surveillance video footage is a joke too, because I think we saw 2 different versions of the same footage. I'll show you. I'll show you a video by Nadia For Real where she pointed that out. And I thought that was the case, but then I was like, whatever, I don't want to focus on this crap. But she did a really good video, so we'll play her video. It's short. We'll play it right after this. You guys know Nadia For Real? She's a great channel. I like her. Okay. True, Sarah, but a bit man would not be writing about security in his manifesto. Right. And so like he started his manifesto before he got there, but then he was like writing in his manifesto like 5 minutes before he ran downstairs. It's all over the place. Let's see. Where did he get the information? Do you mean the shooter? Because, yeah, apparently he made the reservation for the room like months in advance. But Trump had only said he was going to attend that dinner like a week in advance, except that according to AI, according to Google, he said it forever ago, or maybe like a month ago, which was not the case. I don't think he announced he was going until like a week before. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, the effery. That's why I'm going to show you this Nadia For Real video, because she does a really good job talking about the gaslighting. He was observing, supposedly. Yeah. So here's the editor's note. The BBC said in a statement that they edited excerpts of Mr. Trump's January 6, 2021 speech together, but did not use AI. They apologized to him for the edit, which they acknowledged gave the mistaken impression that President Trump had made a direct call for violent action. On January 6th, when he was doing his mob boss thing in his black leather gloves with his big black trench coat, yeah, he was making a call for violent action, in my opinion. I agree. He said he was going only about a week before. Yeah, like I remember on the Monday before, like at the earliest, because then it was happening on a Saturday. Because you know how much I pay attention to the news and all the crap that this MFer says. I paid really close attention. I just can't help it. It's just my instinct right now. Hey, Billy, darling, how are you? So lovely to see you so late at night. It's not that late for you, but it's like 20 to 1 a.m. here. We're like doing a late night. So this is fun having you here too. I don't think you were here last night, were you, Billy, when I was reading the interview with Nora O'Donnell and Donald Trump from, I can't believe it was already a week ago Sunday. So it's been like 10 days now. It seems like it was only like this past Sunday, like 3 days ago, 2 days ago, but no, it was like 9 days ago. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Today's Tuesday, the 6th. Today's Wednesday, the 6th, because it's after midnight. It was Cinco de Mayo, all day Tuesday, right? I watched the censored video. Right. They took the 40-minute interview down to 12 minutes because he's so effing batshit cray-cray in the whole thing. Okay. So after that little excerpt about the BBC edit, Nora says, on that, what do you say to the people who are encouraging political violence or even cheering it on? Well, I think the ones that are doing that are much more far left than far right. Not the question, but much more. When you see, again, Southern law, when you see some of the statements that are made, they are so, even when you say no kings, that's encouraging. You're saying one of the things this guy said in his manifesto, which you didn't read, you should have, is that he attended a no kings rally along with not too many people. No, it was only like upwards of 7 million. Only the largest protest in American history, I think. Okay. And probably it had an impact. You know, they get up and they say whatever they want. No, I'm against that. I think it's terrible. Yeah, he thinks it's terrible for people to say whatever they want. He's completely against free speech. We know that, right? Billy says, what the actual F? My daughter is always telling me no political talks. LOL. Yeah, I used to avoid political talks myself until the day before this last election because I was just like, no, this is bad. And if it goes a certain way, it's going to be really bad. And to be totally honest, I wasn't like completely down with Kamala, but, you know, compared to the alternative, I didn't like that it took Biden so long to duck out. That was effed up, man. Sarah says hugs. I watched your censored vid, Jazzy. Oh, good. You watched my video before they censored it out? Good. Yeah. So I've been hearing a lot of people talking about their videos getting taken down. What's the Obsession can barely do a Trumpstein video that won't get taken down. I've heard Reese Waters talk about videos getting taken down. I think that Boston Brian. I've heard a lot of content creators talk about videos getting taken down. Oh wait, you watched it after it got taken down? How did you watch it after it got taken down? I don't understand. Can you explain? Yes, my whole YouTube was wiped out. Oh, Sarah, can you back your videos on external hard drive just in case? Well, I still have it. I have it. And so I can play it for you. I'd be happy to. I did that last night. I played a portion of it. So we can do that again. But yeah, I was thinking of like playing parts of it. I watched the video where you talked about your video being censored. Okay, that was the one last night, I think. Because yeah, I didn't make any videos for a few days, kind of because I was kind of stunned. Like, I mean, there was other stuff too. It was a weekend, and weekends are always crazy at my house. But yeah, I didn't really know how to handle it. Like, because it's never happened. It only happened once with it's happened twice with shorts. One of them was that I just clipped part of a movie trailer, and so I understood, like, yeah, it's copywritten, okay. And then the other one was last summer, the clip of the Trumpster fire saying somebody very special like me when he was in Kerrville, Texas. And then this one. And this one was 2 hours and 15 minutes. So it kind of took the wind, kind of knocked the wind out of me. Like, wait, that's a long video. And it's censored. So it doesn't surprise me that it's censored, but I had been wondering why other people weren't unpacking that crazy interview, and I bet other people have. Re-upload. Oh yeah. Yeah. I could, but I kind of think that it would probably have the same fate, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Because I do think that that's a good video. So I can like always play it on my phone for you guys, but because I can play it from my accounts. Let's see. Where was I? He attended a No Kings rally along with not too many people. It's so funny, man. He's such a rabbit hole, distracted. Like, he can't just like make a statement and have a thought. He always has to do the weave. Okay. And it probably had an impact. They get up and they say whatever they want. No, I'm against that. I think it's terrible. Nora says, also at the dinner last night was your secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. His sister, Carrie Kennedy, was there. They've both witnessed their father and their uncle being assassinated. Trump says, that's right. Erica Kirk was there. The House Majority Leader, Steve Scalise, was there. Political violence has touched so many people in that room. Is there something you could this upsets him. Is there something that you as president can do? What can be done to change the trajectory? Well, you go back 20 years, 40 years, 100 years, 200 years, 500 years. I call it the Napoleon Dynamite moment. It's always been there. People are assassinated, people are injured, people are hurt. And I'm not sure that it's any more now than there was. I do think that the hate speech of the Democrats, much more so, is very dangerous. Man, projection and confession, everything he says. I really think it's very dangerous for the country. I think the fact that I've accomplished so much, I've made our country great again. I mean, this country was dead. Our country was dead. A year and a half ago, Sleepy Joe Biden had no idea what he was doing. How can he bring up Sleepy Joe Biden when he falls asleep every day in front of the camera? This man is so out of touch with reality. I don't think it was him either. I think it was the people that surrounded him in the Oval Office at the beautiful Resolute desk. This is such a weird thing to weave in there. I don't think he knew what he was doing. He didn't sign anything. He used the auto pen to sign 90% of the things. I think that they they really created a tremendous amount of anger and hate. Our country was dead, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. No, not even close. Nora says, last night, Trump cuts her off. As an example, investments in our country for 4 years, less than $1 trillion under Biden. In 11 months, $18 trillion under Trump. And I love it when he refers to himself in the third person. He is flustered. Yeah, he is, Sarah. The whole interview, he comes unraveled, but especially after that point where she reads part of the manifesto and he jumps in with, I'm not a rapist. That's where he really comes undone. And he never gets back on track. He's just like spinning. 18 trillion under Trump. Now, most people are happy about that, but some people are really angry about it. You know why? Because it means we should be around for a long time, and they don't want that to happen. Nora says, last night you had very much a tone of unity when you were in the White House press briefing room. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I think I really felt very calm. I feel very calm. And if I feel very calm right now, other than a couple of your questions, which are meant to antagonize and totally inappropriate, but I feel calm. He's seething. So funny. I'm enjoying reading it with a lot more verve. I don't know how he came up with that anyway. Oh, he's just so nuts. Last night was a very important, I thought last night was a very important thing to do. And people have said it was. I did it well. Not an easy thing to do, you know. You leave a scene like that, and then you're supposed to let our country, even the whole world, know that it's going to be okay. Daddy Donnie, is it going to be okay? We're so scared. We're so scared that something was going to happen to you. And Nora says, and what about when we're talking about the division in this country, the political violence? Now, many of your cabinet secretaries live on military bases. Yeah. Nora says, because of potential threats against them? Trump, well, they chose to. I'm not sure that they need to. They also have nice places, you know. Democrats did the same thing. Some of the housing on the military bases is very nice. I'm not sure they do it necessarily for violence, but probably this is not the worst thing in the world. Uh, I missed that part. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's like, what are you talking about? So your cabinet members living on military bases is not the worst thing in the world? No. I mean, that's good if they want to live on a military base, but obviously it's for safety. Right? The bases, has he lived there? Right. They're not that nice. I mean, my grandparents lived on a base when I was really young. They lived at, I think it was called Fort Pike in New Jersey. I think it was called Fort Pike. I'll have to look it up to be sure because it was a long time ago. Because they retired from the military in like 76, 75, I think. And then they moved back to the family farm here in Ohio. But was it Fort Pike? Anyway, I'll look it up. New Jersey Army military base. And my grandfather was a colonel in the Army for 30 years. And then my son lived on a military base down in, is it called? I always forget what it's called. It's like, it's not Anaconda and it's not Acostia, but it's something like that right there in Washington, D.C., right on the Potomac River. But it's Maryland, but it's like a hybrid base. I think it's like Navy, Army, and Air Force. And he lived there for a couple of years when Anacostia, right? I think it's Anacostia. He lived there for 2 years while he was doing the ceremonial guard at Arlington Cemetery. And that was, he was a young officer, so that wasn't nearly as nice as the housing that my grandparents had in New Jersey when my grandfather was, 30 years in as a colonel in the Army. So yeah, I've seen some of the nice military housing, but it's not like the nice housing in the private sector. It's just not. I mean, the military housing is pretty good. I mean, even where my son lived was nice. It was a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be. But anyway, yeah, getting on the base if you don't live there is a pain in the butt. It takes like half an hour or something to get through the safety, the guards. Okay, anyway, let's keep reading. It's not the worst thing in the world. Look, we are consequential. This is a consequential presidency. I have a great cabinet. And they do things that are very good. But some people, they're good for us. They're not good for other people. Right, like good for the billionaires, not good for the masses. Okay, yeah, we get it. Like, as an example, Iran, when they're not going to have a nuclear weapon, they're not going to blow up the world. They're crazy. They're not going to blow up the world, and therefore they're not happy. And when they're not happy, people do get things that are violent. That doesn't even make sense. And when they're not happy, people do things that are violent. Okay, I put a get in there that didn't belong. And when they're not happy, people do things that are violent. Now, I'm not tracing anything back to them, but it's certainly, if they had a shot, they'd probably take it. So when you're a consequential president, or if you have a consequential administration, things happen that wouldn't happen if you're sleepy Joe Biden. Oh man. And just the paragraphs that this guy speaks, and then Nora barely gets a word in edgewise. It's so funny. Back to sleepy Joe Biden, back to the auto pen. Yes, we get it. Boy, do we. Everyone was happy with Biden. The world was happy. You know why they were happy? Because they were taking advantage of us, because they treated the United States like we were stupid people. And they made a lot of money, but they don't do that anymore. When he says stupid people, he sounds so stupid. Just when he says low IQ people. He's just exhausting. He just bends my brain. I hope there will be some consequences for this administration. I hope that he will get taken out of office soon. This is just beyond ridiculous. I can't. How does anybody take him seriously? I mean, the whole freaking rest of the world doesn't take him seriously. But why don't they do like what we did with Venezuela? They're probably plotting it, right? I can't either, Anna B says. Okay, but they don't do that anymore. Nora says, last night was going to be your first attendance, Trump. Yeah. At the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That's right. And I was looking forward to making a speech. Would have been a lot different had I gone up and had I stayed. It was very interesting because I said, I can't make that speech. I was going to do a pretty, tell me, rip-roaring I won't go into the total details, but no, I was going to hit people really hard with humor. And I thought it was good when this happened, and I wanted it to go forward because I just didn't want it canceled by a crazy person. Our country's too good for that. Our country's too important for that and too powerful for that. I didn't want that to happen, but I said to him, and I still would go up. I was expecting until the last moment when the military came and the Secret Service and the law enforcement, and they said, because why did they say you can't go back when you were saying I want to go back? Because we had a very sealed room. It was very airtight. Once the doors opened and the Secret Service, military, others came in, the police came in, the law enforcement, they came in, a lot of them. We had a lot of law enforcement, and it was a wall. But the doors were open. It was breached by them. If somebody happened to slip in, and when they said that, I said, you're right. But I did want to go up. But it would have been a much different speech. I would have had to just get up and say, I love you all. Hey, Patricia, what's up? Lovely to see you, my dear. This is another late one, 1 a.m. Let's finish this. Yeah, I'll call you Trisha or Trisha, right? Okay. I love you all, and there was love in the room, and it was amazing. There was love in the room, Nora says. And why do you think that is? Why do you think that the tone changed? People came together. Democrats that truly can't stand me were saying, sir, could I just shake your hand? I mean, I'm leaving and I'm seeing people, high level people, and they're saying, sir, great job. Sir, could I? One of them, I don't want to get you probably have it on tape someplace. One of them said, could I hug you? A big politician on the other side. There was love. It all came together. It was very amazing to see. It was a very beautiful thing at a non-beautiful moment. This guy is such a whack job. But it was a really beautiful thing that was happening. Nora says, I hesitate to ask you about this, but as you know, these conspiracy theories out there on the left and the right that the event was staged or didn't happen. What? Last night didn't happen? That the was because it was your first time there, or that Butler didn't happen. These conspiracy theories that are gaining traction. Wow. I know. And the October 7th didn't happen, and World War II didn't happen, and the Holocaust didn't happen, and many things didn't happen. Another Napoleon Dynamite moment, huh? Sir, way to fall to the floor. And don't call me Patty, Patsy, or Pat. Oh. And just don't call me late for dinner. And those strong, beautiful, manly men grabbed me up with their strong, beautiful strong arms, and got me to safety. Yep. Oh my goodness. And many things didn't happen. Yeah, no, I hear it. I don't know. I think they're more sick than they are con people. But there's a lot of con in it too. I haven't heard that last night didn't happen. Well, it usually takes a little bit longer. Usually they wait about 2 or 3 months to start saying that. I think forgive me. I don't peddle in that stuff. We're certainly looking at cons. I was there, but the idea, I'm wondering where this is coming from. He says, I think that'll be a tough sell. She says, yeah, Secret Service now is currently meeting, as they always do, to discuss your security footprint. The king is coming here, the King of England. He says, I think it's great. He'll be very safe. Yeah. Like he's from Minnesota. Yeah. He'll be very safe. Yeah. The White House grounds. Yes. No concerns about security going forward? No. The White House grounds are really safe. This area of not very many acres, it's really safe. This area of not very many acres. Okay. And he'll be staying here. Now, I believe he's going to a couple other locations because he's here for a few days, and he's a great guy. Oh, they called, and they're looking so forward to being here. We spoke this morning. So the king is fine. He's still coming. Your event's still going forward? Yeah. No, he's a good person. There's no indication from the Secret Service or the FBI that there's an additional threat to you or other administration officials. Wait, it went Nora O'Donnell to Nora O'Donnell. So I thought I was going from Nora O'Donnell to Trump. So let me reread that. So Trump says, yeah, no, he's a good person. She says there's no indication from the Secret Service or the FBI that there's an additional threat to you or other administration officials. Trump, no. This was a lone wolf, in my opinion. No, but we may find out something else. This was a sick lone wolf. He's a sicko and a very disturbed person. You could see it with his journey through life. I mean, he was a Christian. He was a member of the Christian club at his college, Caltech, which is a good college. I'm just jumping. Hold on. And I'm sure they're very embarrassed by this because, it's a great college. So that means he's pretty smart to be in. You gotta get pretty good marks, gotta get pretty good board scores. It's a hard school to get into. So he's a smart guy, but he's a sick guy. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, it would be a lot easier if they weren't smart. Some of them are very smart, and they go around and all they want to do is kill people. They're sick and they have to be put away. Again, he's projecting. In my opinion, I understand today is the First Lady's birthday. Is that right? Today is her birthday. Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Melania. Yeah, today's I always say it was interesting. How do you deal with that after what happened last night? Well, it was, by the time we get back here, it's like around 12, and I said, happy birthday, darling. And you were back here at the White House, I understand, in 5 minutes? Well, they move fast, yeah. Yeah, they move fast. I mean, it's a pretty quick drive. It's not very far away. But think of it, the security of having this really perfect facility built with at the highest security levels on the grounds, where you're not talking, I'm talking about any president. By the way, other presidents will use the ballroom a lot more than me. All of a sudden, he's talking about the ballroom. I'm going to have 4 or 5 months left, but the other presidents would be having the, that tremendous asset is going to be so great. But outside of that, it's dangerous. You need tremendous, that you could never build. You can't have thousands of rooms on top of a ballroom and have security, real security. Now, with that being said, I hope they do this event again, and I hope they do it again soon. And if they do, Nora says, you are committed to doing this event with the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's about freedom of the press. Trump says, oh, I would 100. I want them because I don't want to see it be canceled. I don't want to have a crazy person. I think it's really bad for a crazy person to be able to cancel something like this. I remember with a certain event that took place, I don't even like mentioning it, where they had sports games going on. What is he talking about? I better find my plug. It's telling me that my battery is low. 1 second. I thought I had it in here. I might need to go into the next room to see where I put it. I'm going to turn on an overhead light too. I don't know if that changes things for you guys. Where did it go with all the rearranging? Dang it. Where did it go? Is that it? I think that's it. I think I found it. Yay. But now it's all tangled up. You know how cords get? So annoying. Oh, I remember now. I got it. Okay. We're good. Let me plug this in and get back on screen and finish this up for you. Let's see. Plug in. It's plugged. overhead light off because it just washes me out. And I am wearing shorts again today. If you see a little leg, I apologize. Yep, there it is. A little leg. Okay. It did cool down a lot though because we had a ton of rain today. I really should have a hat on. Here we go. I got a hat right here. There. Problem fixed. Should have had that on the whole time. Okay. Luckily the king brings his own security. That's true. Then why can't we, the people, be at the White House? Oh my God, he's so annoying, isn't he? He really is, Billy. I know, right, Anna? LOL. And it's better than hearing him for real. I can't stand his voice. Oh, his voice is the worst. You know, a lot of them are really horrible to listen to. Like Marco Rubio, horrible. Vance, horrible. Hegseth, horrible. Scott Bessent, horrible. Nutlick, horrible. They're all like super, like, they all sound like whiny brats to me. They sound like spoiled little brats. And they all sound like they're holding their nose. They're just like your typical bratty little rat butts. Oh, we have a growling dog. What's up, Mook? Okay. Okay, me neither, Anna. Oh, and RFK. Oh, he's the worst, RFK Jr. It's like painful listening to him talk. You're like, just please stop. Just don't do it. It's so ridiculous. Like he should, like me with my braces. I don't talk except for when I'm on screen. Like when I'm living my life, like I try to talk minimally, absolutely minimum. I can't even say the word. Minimally. There we go. I can do it. Okay. So I don't know what he's talking about. Do you? When I'm going to reread that last sentence, I remember with a certain event that took place. I don't even like mentioning it, where they had sports games going on. And it was a big decision. Do we cancel the games or do we not? And when you cancel, you're sort of playing right into the hands of these nut jobs. And they're really sick people. I don't want to have an event like that. That was a great event. That was an event. So I refused to do it for the first 4 years. He's not making sense, you guys. Because I felt like the press treated me very unfairly. I had a right not to do it. I didn't do it. And the thing died. It was dying. And even though the press treats me badly, it's hard to treat me. Look, I won the election, I don't think he did. Like, why would he bring it up so many times? Why would his administration bring that up so many times about him winning the election? Like that was like over a year ago. Like, get on with the show, man. Like, quit talking about that. But they're constantly like, I don't think a day goes by that one of them doesn't say, well, he won the election. It's just like, obviously he didn't, in my opinion. The Olympics, no, you didn't, because Felon Muskrat fixed it for him, probably. Yeah. And yeah, I definitely think that was part of it. And I think that Daddy Vladdy did some of his tricks too. People are fighting me. Everybody, not everybody. I have some. There are great people in the press too. I can name, but I don't want to. I don't want to embarrass your show. We have some great people in the press, some very fair people, and people that are just on my side. But for the most part, it's a very liberal or very progressive, let's use the word liberal, liberal press. But I was really happy to see the I don't know how long it'll last, the relationship, the friendship, the spirit after a very bad event took place. Now the event turned out to be much less bad because nobody was killed. Nobody was hurt. The Secret Service agent I spoke to him. He had a bulletproof vest on. Unbelievable. He's okay? Oh, he's 100%. Yeah, no, he was 100%. He didn't want to go to the hospital. He really didn't. They asked him to go, and he said he didn't want to go. He said, I don't need to go to the hospital, but he went because they asked him to go. I would said to tell him not to go if he didn't want to go. What do you force him to go for? Because then the press will say, oh, he was badly hurt. No, he didn't want to go to the hospital. They forced him to go. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but I would have said, if he doesn't want to go, don't make him go. It's just like when somebody gets tased, they always have to get medically cleared. Always. You get hit by a firearm, even with a bulletproof vest on, you're still hit with a firearm, with a projectile. It's a big deal. It can still hurt you. Okay. Well, I know the White House Correspondents Association very much appreciates you going last night and honoring the commitment to do it. Well, I hope we're going to do it again. Nora, tell them to get it going. We should do it within 30 days. I love the way he puts it on her. Nora, tell him to get it going. And we should do it within 30 days. And they'll have even more security. And they'll have bigger perimeter security. It'll be fine. But tell him to do it again. We can't let something be. It's not that I want to go. It's no, I'm very busy. I don't need that. I think it's very important that we do it again. Well, thank you, Mr. President. And he says, thank you very much. Oh my God, he's insane. Oh my goodness, he's insane. Stop talking. Yeah, with RFK Jr. I know, it's just like, it just sounds so painful, and it is painful to listen to him. It's absolutely painful to listen to him. I heard somebody else say, and I believe that he did that to himself with all the rugs that he used. I do not know, but I was going to play you the video from Nadia for Real, but I want to catch up on your chat first, and I wanted to include the thought that I was having as I was finishing up reading this. I wanted to say what I said last night about in a couple of weeks. I'll have it for you in a couple of weeks. So the 30 days, like, why choose the 30 days? I think because he was probably self-conscious about saying we'll do it again in a couple of weeks. But who knows how long it takes to plan one of these events? It probably takes longer than 30 days. I mean, they're planning it for the whole year. So the funny thing, though, I think, is that the 30 days is a couple of weeks. And that's just always his answer. We'll know in a couple of weeks. I'll have it to you in a couple of weeks. We'll see in a couple of weeks. But this is a couple of weeks. So let's read your chat and then show you the Nadia for Real video that I keep talking about. The Olympics. Yeah, I don't know. No, you didn't, because Felon Muskrat fixed it for him probably. I think you both are right. Can you imagine any other president, people that are on my side? I know. It's like he just is trying so hard to be so divisive all the time. And that thing about splitting, that's the telltale sign of a personality disordered person, is they split whatever the group is, whether it's like an office or a family or a nation, they split. They make people choose sides. They're either for them or against them. You're not allowed to be neutral. You're not allowed to be a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You're either good, like really good, like unrealistically good, like you walk on water, or you're horrible, like Satan. It's one or the other. There's no in between. And he's a perfect example of that feature of a personality disordered individual. Constantly. Aren't you the president for the whole country? He won the election, Annabees. Yeah. Seems like he's stalling for time. Oh, the 30 days, like he's trying to make sure that they don't get him out of office in the next 30 days. Is that what you mean, Billy? It's like, oh, we'll do this dinner again in 30 days. So then he gets to stay in office until the dinner. Like, I think that's what you're saying. And that makes sense. But what you're saying makes sense. What he's thinking doesn't. Anna B says my sister does that. She's like borderline or histrionic or a narcissist. I'm sorry, honey. Okay. So Nadia for Real is such a great channel. I love this woman. And oh my God, I watched the funniest Jimmy Fallon right before I came on. Maybe I should play that for you too. Nadia for Real. I think her channel used to be New York Nadia or something like that. Okay, so this is an 12-minute video. She dropped it 6 hours ago. And I think I want to play the whole thing. We'll see. Let's start it.
I had no idea how much use I'd get from this stainless steel kitchen board.
It's funny because this ad sounds just like her voice. I'm sure that's not a coincidence.
New CCTV footage of the Trump assassination attempt dropped last week. And when I saw it, I was shook. As a behavioral and intelligence analyst who served in the U.S. Army, I knew immediately what I was looking at. 2 versions of this footage were released. In one, the suspect has no weapon. In the other, he does. A metal detector that doesn't even exist in one version is right there in the next. I'm not buying any of it. Not version 1 and not version 2. Most of you have seen the footage, but I promise you didn't see what I saw. Because this isn't about just one shooter or one event. This is a brand new level of psychological warfare that's being used against you right now. Designed to make you unable to trust your own eyes, your own judgment, and reality. And once that's gone, everything's gone. Now, before you come at me in the comments, this is my analysis. But just keep in mind that I spent years studying the manufacture of deception. What I'm seeing here isn't incompetence or a glitch. It's a strategy. And I'm going to walk you through it step by step, including the end game, so that you don't fall into this trap. Let's get into it.
Kind of loud.
So there's a guy on TikTok named Tizzy End who quickly broke down the new CCTV videos. So let's just take a look at that first.
Here it is, and we're going to focus on this area up here where you're going to see him walk into that doorway. So here we go. He walks in, nonchalant. You're going to see a canine officer come in, and the dog follows him into that room. And then you'll see him pull back the dog, and then it looks like they have a conversation. Looks like he's talking to him there. And he's finally going to turn away, and literally seconds later, he comes out armed with the shotgun. A couple things noteworthy. First, what's in his hands? I see nothing. I certainly don't see a long shotgun in his hands as he walks in there. It doesn't look like his jacket is big enough to hide it if it's in pieces. And then he had time to assemble it while this guy's literally staring through the doorway? Because I didn't see anything in his hands. This guy's just kind of chilling there. And then it's the moment he turns, he comes out with it fully assembled. And look at the size of this thing. Was that on him? Or had he stashed that there prior? And if so, how was that missed? How did no one find a firearm stashed in a room right next to security? Moving on, he will exit. He'll come sprinting through here, and you're going to see this guy fired multiple shots. There you go. There was at least 3 there. As everybody just kind of scatters and seems confused. And it's worth noting, this guy walked into a room right there, seemed to be being watched almost the whole time he was in that room, and yet somehow got his hands on a shotgun, then sprinted through here, and all of these guys missed him. None of them were paying attention except for this one officer, who then proceeds to miss him at close range. At one point, this guy's basically standing in front of him. I understand he's running, but he missed him with every shot. And also, never see his firearm go off. I don't see him shooting at him. He points toward him. But, I mean, a shotgun, even if there isn't a muzzle flash, it puts out a lot of energy when it's fired, and I don't see a shot go off. And last but certainly not least, that was not the first footage we got, remember? We initially got this super low-res garbage footage of that incident happening. Then we got a higher-res version in between this version we have now that was clearly AI slop. We knew it was AI slop because, like, that paper disappears into his chest, that paper seeming to be the metal detector, but also nothing in his hands. He's not armed in the original one we got. He's armed in the new one. And you can see this is clearly the same footage by matching what the people are doing. Also in that version, this agent is looking in a different direction and wearing a hat. See what I mean? He has a baseball cap on and he's looking the wrong way. My question is, why did we get this version? We were always going to get this in some way, shape, or form. They're always going to release this. Why did they make an AI version? And then if they're willing to make one AI version, how do we know they didn't make more than one AI version? Which then begs the question, which is real? Is him with nothing in his hands real? Or is him with the shotgun in his hands real? Is no metal detector real? Or is metal detector real? My takeaway from this is this administration is way too comfortable utilizing AI. And this just raises more questions about how inept everything had to be if this is a legitimate threat and this guy was on his own and this was not a setup, for this have all to played out this way based on what we can see with our own eyeball.
Please spend a night with my daughter.
She is a virgin.
This is the weirdest
Think
ad.
about what this all means. These are supposed to be surveillance recordings of the same event. They're not supposed to differ on whether or not there's a weapon or a metal detector. These aren't minor inconsistencies, you guys. These are the kind of differences that only happen when at least one version was never real to begin with. Now, if you're thinking, well, it can't be fake because if they were trying to gaslight us, then they wouldn't have made it so obvious, you're missing the big picture. Gaslighting is when someone manipulates your perception of reality to make you doubt what you know to be true. This isn't just something that happens between people in toxic relationships. It's being done to us all collectively at scale, like releasing 2 different official versions of the same event and offering no valid explanation. That's not incompetence. It's a playbook. And this isn't just the usual gaslighting that we've come to expect from this administration, because AI has created a whole new level of gaslighting. By releasing an AI version of the suspected shooter, all reality is distorted, because now we can't tell which version is real, or if the entire event was AI and fake. This is psychological warfare at its worst. A complete psyops meant to inflict the most psychological damage possible. But why? What's the point? What's the end game? When I look at all of this, I see 2 objectives: control and cover. Control. There are more of us than there are of them, and they know that. They're trying to contain a problem that's growing bigger by the day: civil unrest. Look at social media on any given day and you can feel it. People are sharing information globally in real time, and we're fast reaching a point of mass revolt. And there's no way to stop it but one: have everyone doubt that what they're seeing online is even real. Cover. Accomplishing this gives them open season to do whatever they want, whenever they want, with minimal backlash. They want us so confused that we won't believe anything that we see or hear, so that they can do anything and get away with it. We won't just be arguing with each other. We'll be arguing with ourselves.
Here, I'm going to
And when
pause
that
it for a moment. We'll be arguing with ourselves. Holy crap, that's profound, huh? So we're just 7 minutes in. So there's about 4 minutes left. But let me catch up with your comments. And man, my braces are so freaking sharp with only half the wax on. It's insane. So I'll try to wrap up, but I'm going to read your comments and then play the rest of that before wrapping up. She hasn't been diagnosed, but yeah, Anna B says before AI, they just used the media to tell the story. Now they have the media and AI videos to spread their agenda. Yeah. It's crazy with the AI videos. My problem is these guys aren't smart enough to put together a conspiracy like this, Patricia says. Too many moving parts. I see your point. But yeah, I do think that it's a conspiracy like this, but I totally see your point. Here, let's watch the rest of this.
Happens, our will collapses. What do you guys think? Which version is the real footage, if any? Let me know in the comments. Mark my words, this isn't the last time they use AI to muddy our perception. This is the test run. And if it works, we lose the only weapon that we have left, our ability to verify reality. In psychology, this creates a state called epistemic confusion. Basically, the feeling of, I don't even know what's real anymore. Everything spirals. It feels like nothing we do even matters. And over time, we stop trying, even when we could regain control, because we've internalized the belief that we don't have any. That's called learned helplessness. And it's exactly what they're counting on. Every great civilization was built on a postal system and the ability to spread information throughout the state fast. The Persian, Roman, and Incan empires all had massive, fast, and effective information networks that helped them maintain control over their lands because information moved faster than rebellion. The same is true today, but the internet disrupted this type of state control. The people hold that power today, and there's no way to stop it. The next best thing is to confuse the masses so bad that they no longer believe the information. If you're having a hard time accepting that any of this might be going on, I get it. And you might be experiencing what psychologists call cognitive dissonance. When a person has held a belief that they've sacrificed relationships, time, and money for, a belief so ingrained that it's become part of their identity, then they'll deny facts and information that counter those beliefs because they feel they've invested too much to turn back. So they double down and defend lies even when the truth is right in front of them. They're so afraid of losing face that they don't realize it's their unwillingness to accept the truth that's destroying their credibility. If this is you, let yourself off the hook. We all do the best that we can with the information that we have at the moment. And there's no shame in realizing that you were misled. But there is in pretending otherwise, when the facts tell a different story. So, how do you protect yourself from a campaign of disinformation? First, triangulate reality. Check the same story across different outlets, including independent media. Stick with sources that have a track record of telling you the truth.
So, Patricia, this is going to your question of how do you tell the difference of what's AI, what's real, what's not. So she's got some good advice. Although she's like so sharp and so professional, I almost wonder if she's part of the propaganda. I mean, the only reason I am not suspicious of her is because she's actually like commented in some of my comment sections. Because I've tagged her in things when I use her videos, and I've used her videos in the past. So, and she has a lot of social media experience. Like she's a full-time social media person. Her YouTube channel isn't that big, but she's on other platforms where she's really big, I think. Let me see. Anna B says, I think people like Steve Bannon and Stephen Miller are very cunning. They have a lot of influence in things that are done. Yeah. I agree. They are really sneaky snakes. Patricia says, what's the biggest evidence we have so far? I'm curious. What do you think the biggest true thing we know in proving that it was a setup by these very unintelligent people? Well, for me, off the top of my head, Patricia, and I love that question, is just that I never thought that the dinner was going to happen with Trump there. I thought that he would do something to not be there. I didn't think he'd like derail the whole thing. I thought he was just going to like have some type of business like war emergency that he was going to not be able to show up. But I knew that there was going to be some kind of bull crap. So to me, that's my biggest evidence. If that's an answer, if that's acceptable. But yeah, I'd love to hear Anna B's and Billy, if anyone else is still in the chat and wants to answer.
And look for what doesn't change across sources, because that's your anchor. Second, slow your reactions down, because speed is their weapon of choice. Pause before.
And I really like that, like slow your reactions down, because I feel like I did that, even though like I thought it was fake right away. I also felt like, let's wait and see. Let's it's early to be making a determination. Let's keep gathering information and see what unfolds.
For sharing, before commenting, before forming any hard opinion about anything, ask yourself, what's the evidence and what's missing? And most importantly, who benefits if I believe this? And also get comfortable saying, I don't know yet. That phrase alone is an act of resistance. Third, build a personal evidence standard. Require primary sources, at least 2 independent confirmations before you believe anything, and look at the facts before you interpret them. But Nadia, the facts can't be pinned down in these videos because there are too many versions. So what about that? You're right. Look, it's one thing to get conflicting narratives from different sources. But when the same source contradicts itself so drastically that you can't even tell which version of events is true, that's a sure sign that none of them are. And you need to step away. You wouldn't accept being lied to by the people in your life. So why would you put up with it from your leaders? Truth isn't just a moral ideal. It's the infrastructure of a nation. It's worth defending because it's what allows millions of strangers to make decisions, resolve conflicts, and move in the same direction without constant chaos. Laws can't be applied fairly if the facts are always disputed. Contracts mean nothing if what happened can be manipulated. Elections lose legitimacy when we can't agree on the validity of the outcomes, and people stop cooperating if they can't trust what's true. And that's their endgame. We'll never get the whole truth, but we don't need it. We just need to stop pretending that we can't see the lies. If you made it this far, you already know what to do. See you on the next vid.
All right. Nadia, for real. And so I think I have another answer to your question to Patricia or Trish. What's the biggest evidence we have so far? I'm curious. What do you think is the biggest true thing we know in proving that it was all a setup by these very unintelligent people? So Anna B says, I feel like with him saying he was going was a tell. He always has an ulterior motive. I wasn't surprised this happened, and I tried to believe it was what they said. I tried to believe it too. I always do. I always try to like go along with the bull crap that they're feeding us, just because I think it's good to like weigh out both sides and just to test it. Some of the other biggest evidence I feel like is like even in the interview, the way he's not discussing what he experienced that night. He's not going back into the moment of, then I was sitting there next to Melania, and then Oz came and was talking to us. He's not going into any detail about like where he was when things happened and how he felt and what his reaction was. It's very general, even though he does talk about Oz, and he's talking about that moment where Oz is like guessing Caroline's baby's name. And just the fact that he like did a press release or a press conference like within half an hour of it happening. I mean, this is a big deal, and you've got to continue to think about security because you don't know that this was a lone wolf. You don't know that. I think that if it were real, it's jarring, and it's going to be hard to like regain your composure, but also you've got all your Secret Service around you trying to make sure that you're safe. So I think that the presser right after was too quick. And I think the interview the very next day was also too quick. But the interview the very next day and the presser right after, both of those are him trying to lay down the tracks of the narrative, because this is a fact. When something happens, the first version that people hear of the story is the version that they will stick with. That's the version that their brains will keep going back to. So whenever you're trying to set the narrative, you want to be first out of the gate to say, this is what happened. So the fact that he did the presser 30 minutes after, and then the fact that he did this interview the very next day, even though it was his wife's fucking birthday. Give me a fucking break. Okay. So there, does that answer, Patricia? But I love your question. But yeah, I just feel like it's so many things. But to me, that's some of the biggest evidence that's just like on the top of me brain at the moment. And my brain is kind of fading because it's almost 2 a.m. So let's read your last couple of comments and then sign off. Thanks so much for hanging out, you guys. And how fast they came to their conclusions. Right. Like they knew within 2 seconds that he was a lone wolf. I mean, give me an effing break. So far, I'm just hearing speculation. Has there been anything so far that could stand up in court yet? Very good questions, my dear. And I'm just too tired to think it all out. So maybe we can reconvene mañana. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Hopefully I can come on to a live before midnight. Like last night was what, like 11 o'clock. And I was like, I'll be on earlier tomorrow night. And I did try, but I couldn't pull it off. So I'm just glad that we got to do this. So thanks, you guys. So many things, any court-worthy stuff. I think the manifesto is court-worthy. And if you can look at the timeline of when the president actually announced publicly that he was going to the event, and when Cole, whatever his name is, when the shooter or alleged wannabe shooter, when he bought his train ticket, when he made the hotel reservation. Yeah. The suspect's stay in the hotel was at least 5 days at $1,000 a day, and he is a school teacher. That is sus. Yeah, I also heard $3,000 a day, but maybe that was like 3,000 for a handful of days. I don't know. I mean, that's so crazy expensive. Let's see what AI has to say about that. If AI will give us a quote, let me see if my voice to text is working. How much is a room at the Hilton? No, it's not doing it. How much is a room at the Hilton where the White House Correspondents' Dinner was held. Rooms at the Washington Hilton during the White House Correspondents' Dinner generally cost between $300 and $400 per night. During peak demand surrounding the events, rates often rise. With destination fees adding another $4,000 to $5,000 to the daily total. What? You're not even making sense, AI. Sometimes AI is way off. So peak events during the Correspondents' Dinner or other high-end demand events, prices can surge, with rooms reaching $450 or more and some as much as $1,005. So yeah, so when I worked in a hotel, when there were events, the prices would go way up, and people still book the rooms because of the events. So I wouldn't say double, but maybe sometimes almost double. Let's see. Okay, wow, Jazzy, it's so late for you. I'm impressed. Well, see, I do late nights because my husband works nights, and I try to have a similar schedule with him. And yeah, but then I also a lot of times have to wake up really early to get my daughter off to school. When he works nights and he comes home early in the morning, he usually will take her to school before he goes to bed, so then I don't have to wake up that early. But I prioritize his sleep over my sleep since he's got the job that he has, because first responders, you always got to be ready to go at the drop of a hat. Thought he booked his room ahead of time also. Yeah, I mean, I had heard that he booked his room months in advance, or at least a month in advance. And like AI said that Trump had announced it, I think early April, that he was going, but I don't think he did. I don't think he announced it until like the 20th of April, because the event was the 25th. And the first time I heard about it, I looked it up right away, like when it was going to happen, because I didn't know when it was happening. And, I'm scouring the internet for news on what's going on with this douchebag every day. So I stay pretty abreast of this crap. But I looked up on AI, when did he announce DJT, and it said like way earlier than I believe. When did DJT announce publicly his plan? To attend, I wish my voice to text worked. His plan to attend White House Correspondents' Dinner. Yeah, it says that he announced it on March 2nd. No, he did not. This is a total effing lie. It says President Donald Trump publicly announced his plans to attend the 2026 White House Correspondents Association dinner on March 2nd, marking his first time attending as president. He disclosed this on his Truth Social account, stating he was honored to accept the invitation. I don't believe it, but if the comment is still there on his Truth Social account, then maybe. But let's see. But when did the other guy buy his tickets and make his reservation and everything? Right. Then why not have his manifesto ready months ahead? Also, did you hear about that Secret Service guy who got caught with his pants down? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Trish. Please do tell. I'm not sure what you mean. Exactly, Anna. Literally. Oh, yikes. That's disgusting. Yes, I heard about the Social Security guy with his winky out. Where? What? Oh, no. Should I look it up? With his pants down in a hallway of a hotel. He was playing with himself in the hallway. He was directing his thing to some poor, scared lady. So many men are gross. Now, where was this? How many Secret Service are from January 6th? Yeah, that's a good question. She called the police and this Secret Service guy got handcuffed. Oh my goodness. Let me see. I need to stop playing crap that I'm not asking you to play. Oh, that's so weird. It's a Gabby Petito Peacock special review from 4 years ago on Grizzly True Crime. What? Why would that get pulled up? That is so odd. Okay. So Secret Service guy. A Secret Service agent arrested. Placed on leave for allegedly fondling himself in public. So this was at Trump National Doral Golf Club. After, okay. This is an off-duty Secret Service officer was arrested in Miami-Dade County, Florida at around midnight Monday, charged with indecent exposure after allegedly masturbating in a hotel hallway, according to a police affidavit. Now, is this real or is this just another news story to distract the public from what's really going on? That's my first question. The officer, identified in the arrest record as John Spillman, 33, was placed on administrative leave. Richard McCauley, the chief of Secret Service's Uniform Division, said in a statement obtained by NBC South Florida. We are aware of the arrest of an off-duty Secret Service officer by the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, McCauley said. The alleged conduct is unacceptable and stands in stark contrast to the professionalism and integrity that I demand of our personnel. This agency takes these matters with the utmost seriousness, he added, saying Spillman would remain on administrative leave pending the results of this criminal matter and a complete and thorough internal investigation. The arrest was first reported by Fox and ABC affiliate WSVN. According to the arrest affidavit, law enforcement officers responded to the DoubleTree by Hilton Miami Airport and Convention Center. Isn't that the Trump airport? Come on. So, another thing, I'm going to set that down. Another thing with this Trump airport crap is that if they change the name, then the airport will be mandated to sell a bunch of Trump paraphernalia, merch. These people, man. Okay, so let's wrap this evening up. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, Trish. I mean, that's so gross. But yeah, I'm very suspicious that there's more to it, that it's like a distraction story from all the other stupid stuff going on. Like the freaking war that's supposed to be over, because wasn't Monday day 60 of the war? And there's that whole thing with day 60 of the war. What day of the Epic Fury War was Monday? I think that was day 60, but let's see what the phone says. What Monday, May, what was it? Monday, May 3rd? Because Tuesday was the 5th. Okay, so it was the 4th. Monday, May 4th. That was the 66th day of the Iran conflict. Monday, May 4th was the 66th day. All right. And then but also maybe to take focus off of what had happened the Sunday before. I don't know. Maybe it's just that the guy's a perv, right? But I just don't believe the Secret Service agent would be doing that in a hotel unless he's Pete Hegseth and he's drunk. So I don't know. I mean, again, like what Nadia for real was saying, like we're being trained to like not believe anything and not trust anything, not trust our own eyes and our own ears. I think he's in jail now, Trish says. I don't know if he was on or off duty. So yeah, it says off duty. But still, I mean, Secret Service, you have like a really thorough background check and psychological testing. I mean, it takes a long time to get hired as a Secret Service agent, but maybe not anymore. Who knows, right? It's possible some of the Secret Service are J6ers. Absolutely. Especially if this thing was for real, it would make me think that. I mean, so many of these J6ers are getting arrested for being inappropriate with kids and such. Well, at least he was off duty, LOL. Well, he could have like been in his room manhandling himself. I think so, and that's why they are calling it something else now. Rubio said Epic Fury is over. God, just get with the program. I know. I knew that. Rubio was talking a lot today, and there's a lot to be said about it. Like, he's an idiot, but it's almost like they're trying to put him in the spotlight instead of JD Vance, like they're trying to get JD Vance's goat. Because why is Rubio the one talking about it? Why wouldn't it be Keg's Breath or the president? Like, why Rubio? But yeah, I forgot the new name. Do you remember what the new name is? Yes, Donald was very cleverly on purpose started the "you can't believe anything" fake news. I know. And with AI a few months ago when he said, when something bad happens, it's AI. If it's good, then it's not. But we all know that nothing bad can ever happen. It can only good happen, right? So what is the new name of the war? New war name. Well, it still says Operation Epic Fury here. Come on, get with the program, AI. War of Redemption? No, that was years ago. It's too soon. The AI doesn't know. It takes a few days for things to get into AI. Do you guys know? Do you remember? Rubio had to clean up what Kegsbrith said. Yeah, I watched a bunch of the Rubio crap today. I couldn't take it. Like him and a lot of them have this real like tension in their throats when they're talking, when they know they're full of crap. Todd Blanche and him both have been having to like speak a lot of bull crap lately. And when they do, it's like they don't want to talk. It's like their vocal cords are trying to constrict and they're forcing themselves to talk. It's almost like RFK Jr., but not quite as intense, right? Fake news. I think it started to backfire on him, and a lot of ex-Trumpers are also not believing the dinner association. Yeah, I mean, just the way the whole thing went down seemed like a bunch of phony crap to me. Word on the streets of YouTube said that Rubio is in for 2028 and not Vance. Absolutely. Yeah. They're like test driving that. But I would think that the Trumpster fire would want, if not him, then one of his offspring to run. But that's not going to happen. But then I never thought that he would win the first time, let alone the second time. But what else did I want to say before we wrap up about Rubio and fake news starting to backfire? A lot of ex-Trumpers are not believing the dinner association. I can't remember what I was wanting to say. My brain is turning off. It's been over 2 hours and it's after 2 a.m. I'm turning into the pumpkin. Me too, Jazz. So, yeah, I think it is backfiring because, 3 is a lot. And everything he does is so questionable. And just his responses, like, no, I wasn't concerned about anybody getting hurt. I know a lot about the world. What was his ridiculous? What was that? That was so bizarre. I just got to look that up real quick. I know a lot about life. That's what it was. See, I just have to touch my phone and then my brain will work. I know a lot about life. I wasn't worried about anybody getting hurt. I know a lot about life. Like, how his thought process works or doesn't work is crazy. Thank you for a really great live, you guys. Love to you. Have a great evening and sleep. And hopefully we will be on again. It'll be kind of late tomorrow, but hopefully nowhere near this late. So drink your water, eat your protein, and see you then.